Welcome to the Soulful Mystics podcast. I'm Steph.
And I'm Julie, and we are intuitive hypnotists, sharing our journey along the way.
Hey, Mystics. It always blows my mind how, when it's time to edit a session for the podcast, the timing feels absolutely divine. This session with Kim was recorded over a year ago, but listening back, it's like the messages were meant for this version of me. At the time, I didn't fully grasp the depth of what was coming through, but now it's all landing in such a magical way. I had a recent quote-unquote vortex encounter that I have been trying to make sense of, and I believe in this session I mentioned quite a bit about that experience and the sensations that came with it. Long story short, I was outside in a snowstorm. There was this shift in perspective, almost like I started seeing through a filter, and there was sparkles and these colorful circles. The beauty around me that I'm always observing shifted into something extraordinary. I was seeing it and appreciating it in a way that I haven't been able to experience before. There aren't really words to describe how beautiful everything looked and felt. There is quite a bit more to that story, and maybe we'll tell it in another episode. If it is something that interests you, please send us an email and let us know. The synchronicities are undeniable, especially with Julie's session that she just shared in episode 65, Where Light Meets the Lost. We had these sessions at about the same time, and Kim, the facilitator, was baffled at how similar our sessions were in the sense of meaning and insights and even theme. It's as if our timelines are converging, offering insight and validation in really magical ways. So as you listen, I invite you to tune in with an open heart. Maybe some of these messages are meant for you too. Let's drift through dimensions together.
Just sort of floating here in the space, drifting here for just a moment. And you'll float down, down, down. And you'll find yourself on a path. And you'll find yourself at a fork in the road. Take a minute to orient yourself and see what you experience. Okay, what are you aware of?
So there's two paths, and in the middle, at the top of a tree, is a white owl.
And does the owl have any information for you?
She's just kind of looking at me, saying there's no wrong path, so you could pick one and just follow it through and meet the other one on the other side.
Okay, so which one are you taking?
The one on the left.
Okay, what are you aware of?
There's a lot of vegetation and flowers, different kinds of plants that I'm kind of picking along the way.
Mm.
And I feel like I have this, it's almost like I think it's a book that I'm using as like an apothecary study, or I'm kind of documenting as I go.
Oh, and what are you wearing?
I'm wearing this, it feels like a skirt and a top with like a vest. It feels like it's made like a homemade kind of thing. I don't feel like it's that long ago, or maybe it's just in a different dimension or timeline, but as I'm going writing in this book, and it's leather bound, and it has all these different kinds of plants that are dried inside to symbolize, like to show what the plant looks like. Feels like I'm kind of testing medicinal plants and then writing down what I discover and find. But I'm heading to this, it's like a big outdoor cabin community. So it doesn't feel like a city or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And there's gardens everywhere, and I feel like there's people, but I don't see them, but their energy is present.
Nice. And what do you know now?
I don't know why I'm not getting when this is. It feels like a timeline shift because it feels like me,
Mm-hmm.
just somewhere else. or some other time. I'm not really sure, but I feel like it's an important piece of the puzzle of where we're headed here on Earth. It's like we're going back. We have to go backwards in order to move forward, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
And so this community is a community that is devoting their life energy to remembering all the old ways of life and having an apothecary, growing your own food, being one with nature because it's just all medicine comes from plants anyway. Why we ever shifted from that in
Mhm.
this timeline doesn't really make sense in that one.
Mhm.
And so that's like
Oh,
the step forward messages that this energy force is trying to relay to the people living in our timeline because we need to remember those lessons and those teachings because we're going to need
mm,
them moving forward if we want to live a happier life and a longer existence here.
yes. And what more do you know right now?
It's just a lot of people, I feel their energy. I don't see them fully, but they're kind of like transparent. I can sort of see them almost like tracing paper. It's
Mm-hmm.
you see it, but it's not like a complete picture. And so I don't know, the message or feeling I'm getting is that most of their energy right now is in a different timeline, and that is like a
Ah,
fraction of their soul living in this space that I'm visiting because we want to keep kind of our toe in the water in this beautiful space where we never gave up on nature. We just continued to live with it as a society. And so we have all these different energy forces that are souls or portions of souls that are remaining in that space so that we never fully lose that part of ourselves as human beings. And so
cool.
there is this one male energy that is more visible for me, like he feels more present in that timeline and this timeline, and he's planting trees and plants, and he just thinks it's weird the way that we plant things here. He thinks that it's if you're going to plant something, you plant it the way Mother Nature would do it. Mother Nature never has bare soil. It's if you rip out a weed, well, she's going to heal herself by regrowing that weed because that weed is providing some kind of nutrient that that space needs. And so by planting all these trees in a row and a garden in a row just doesn't it's not at its fullest potential. And he's just is kind of going off on a tangent. Just how this basically resemble Mother Earth. Go into a forest and see the way that the plants thrive and mimic that in your own garden because that's it's going to make her happy and it's going to make like it feels more fulfilled and yeah.
And can the people there see you? I'm assuming.
Yeah, we can kind of see each other the same in the same light at this point because they see me or feel me present in that space and I'm in full color or presence. Some of them are popping in. So we're able to kind of shift that perspective and go into that timeline or realm or energetic space and pull these pieces of information from that energy and meet with each other and give each other kind of advice on what we need to take from this world, from that world, in order to make ours in the other timeline a little easier and better to help Mother Earth heal. And so I see a few other people kind of they're coming into full color. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, because I it's really hard to describe how I see them. Some of them are very pale in color, and then they just become vibrant, like they're actually there with me. And now there's a lady who kind of reminds me of you, and she just has this vibrant smile, and she just says it's never fully lost. We just need to look within, use our human powers because we have them deep within us, and reconnect with a world that we want to mimic and see and feel again. And she's like, it's easy. It's so
Mhm.
easy. We can, just like that, people sensed my energy and they started popping in more vibrantly to share this message and to show that they're also working on this all around the world.
Cool. Is there anything you're meant to know to bring back, or anything more you're meant to know to bring back into this reality?
It's not possible to fix the entire world, but by fixing the world around you, it sends out a vibration through Mother Earth all around. So just, it's never insignificant. Planting one tree or taking care of the plants and animals in your space, in your bubble, effortlessly vibrates through the entire world. And the more of us who do it, the higher that vibration is going to be, and it's going to encourage other people to continue doing it. So I think the main message is to never feel like it's insignificant and to just keep planting, to keep bringing nature and wildlife, especially the pollinators and the birds, they all have a purpose in helping Mother Earth heal. Even their poop. Birds
Mhm.
pooping creates a fertilizer that the world needs. So it's like every little aspect is really important, even though it seems small. They all work together, like creating this little ecosystem can really help heal not only humans, but nature.
Mm, beautiful. So, is there anything for you to do in your normal waking reality to bridge this further into this reality?
Yeah, so there's an energy here that reminds me of Jen Engler, and she's just telling me to take the course that I've been thinking about taking. She said that there's nothing better than learning and advancing the knowledge that you feel called to explore because it's not lost. Even if it's something that you feel you already know deep down, it's like a reminder and to just take a course or to continue studying it because it's meant to happen. It's either going to happen now if I accept that and move forward with it, or it's going to happen down the road. But either way, that's a part of the path. And so to start
Oh,
doing that and then following through with creating, like planting more in and around me and then helping others to learn how they can do that in their own backyard or front yard. Like we don't need grass anymore. Grass is great, but we need to plant things that are
mm,
beneficial. Plant medicine, food, like food forests can be on such a small property. And so like to spread that teaching to
mm,
more and more people so that, we don't have to have all these clean front lawns. We can literally have apple trees and vegetables and food. Like, of course, the people who make money from us going to stores and buying those things are not going to be happy, but it's a lot healthier when you know what's going into caring for them. And I feel like that's part of the journey is to really understand my place on this earth and in this space on this property so that I can teach other people how they can incorporate a little piece of that on whatever land that is near them or that they have.
beautiful. And what more do you know about this, or are you being shown about this? Is there anything further?
Oh, well, that now Julie's there and she's holding a snake. And I know,
Mhm.
I know that's probably not her favorite thing in the world, but it's just like gently wrapped around her arm and its head is like she's holding her arm up and its head is kind of over her hand and she's almost like talking to it. I don't know how, like I don't understand what she's saying to it. She's kind of talking snake. But I feel like it has something to do with fear because I know that that's
Uh-huh.
one of her
Yeah.
fears, but it
Yeah.
also kind of looks like a mini dragon, which has helped her defeat any fear. So I'm gonna have to
Oh.
look into that afterwards. But I think that's like release that fear because it's not like the fear of not having enough money moving forward. It's the universe is always going to provide. And I know that and I believe that. So it's like she's telling me through this snake to my subconscious to start believing it because it is real.
Mm. And is there more there? from Julie or the snake or the dragon snake?
No, I think it's just she just kind of put it on the ground and it slithered away. So I think that was the message to
Oh,
embrace fear.
yeah, yeah. And since you brought that up, do you want to do a quick body scan and see if there's anywhere that is residing in your body?
Yeah, I feel it in my like sternum, my heart
Okay,
sternum area. It just feels like heavy and
okay,
dull.
okay. Is there a color or texture or shape?
It's like a dull gray.
Okay. And do you have any sort of a shape or an image or any texture or
It kind of feels like a metal
Mhm.
texture and it's just like a block, like a heavy block.
And do you know how old you were when it came to help you, or has it always been with you?
I feel like this is recent. Probably it feels like since loss of my dogs.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and release what needs to be released right now. Go ahead and grieve. And it feels like you can even pour it into this heavy, dull gray. I don't know, and it'll take it up for you. But you're going to, when it feels right, you're going to take this big metal, heavy metal feeling, metal texture block, heavy, and lift it up. And the archangels can assist you to lift it up and return it to home. And do you know how it had helped you with the loss of your dogs?
It helped by, I don't know if it was completely helpful, but
Right.
it's what I needed in order to get through every day. Because
Yeah.
sometimes feeling that sadness when I
Yeah.
was
Right.
isolated
Yeah.
and kind of alone, that it just felt like numbing was a little bit easier just to get
Yeah.
through that day.
Right. And so do you feel now that you're able to get through your days as this is lifted up and you're able to take over and fill that need for yourself now?
Yeah, I feel like it's like in lifting that, I could feel the emotions like kind of running through that sternum part, like through my heart and
Mm.
like working its way through my energy centers rather than just staying
Yeah.
stuck and
Good.
dull because, like the grief and the sadness is a part of a
Right.
really beautiful relationship that I had with them. So it's something that I
Yes.
want to feel, but I also want
Right.
to invite in the joy that they brought me.
Oh, yes. So does it feel like that block has gone all the way home into the light?
Yeah, it
And
feels
that's
like it's
complete?
flowing. Yeah.
Okay, great. And so I love you're already doing it though. So then fill up, let that energy, you're already doing it, you're already describing it, letting it flow all the way through you and then filling it up exactly with what you want, like you're saying, the joy and the love, right? And
Yeah.
whatever color, whatever texture, whatever qualities you want to fill that up with that space that was there, you fill it up. But I love where you were going with it. Yeah, the joy and the love, and you can hold that sweetly in that space. And let me know when you feel like that's all complete.
It's complete. I could feel their presence, like just, enjoying the nature
Mm,
and being like they were always there, but I feel like I was kind of stopping myself from feeling and experiencing their presence on the other side
mm,
and so they're just kind of running wild
mhm.
and reminding me of those joyful moments.
Yeah, beautiful. Soak that up. And when you're ready, let's go back to the body scan and see if there's anywhere else that gets your attention.
Well, I feel like at first there was like this brain fog and I was feeling heavy legs, but as soon as that block was released and the energy started flowing, those things kind of they dissipated with it. So it almost feels like
Right.
that was blocking the easy flow, which was creating that fogginess and dense energy,
Yeah.
but it feels a lot lighter and like the whole body kind of feels balanced.
Ooh, beautiful. Well done. And so when we talk about releasing fear now, what does that feel like? What does that look like? What does that seem like to you?
It feels like there's nothing, like fear is just, it's a word that we use to describe the unknown because
Mm-hmm.
there really doesn't feel like there's anything, there's no depth to the word when I think about it right now.
Ooh. What's next? What more do you know? What's getting your attention now?
Well, she's kind of moving down, like continuing, so leaving that community and continuing down the path, reaching another fork in the road, and then I believe I could turn right and go back up the other path that was available.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm taking that path now. And this feels more like a future timeline, I guess, of it feels like in this life as Steph, almost like that future. If I take the knowledge from the left path, she's showing me what the future can hold here, as well as the impact that it would make, not only for myself, but for Max and the people that are in this world with me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm on my property now, but it doesn't look anything like it does at this time. There was a lot of work to be done, but I have trouble knowing where to start or focusing my energy on just one thing. And what this is showing me is that that's okay. If you start one
Mm-hmm.
project and you get called to take a break from that project in order to work on something that is sparking my joy and my curiosity and creativity, then to use that as like a charging mechanism in order to complete the other projects as I go. So it just feels
Mm-hmm.
like I am going to be pulled in a lot of different directions because there's so many different possibilities and that's okay. There is no right or wrong way to do any of this. And so what she's showing me is basically my the way that my brain works is all of these different aspects of the property, and then there's signs. So I have Soulful Stephanie as a sign, which is telling me that I am still meant to do this work in hypnotherapy and my spirituality, but there's going to be a combination of things that flow with it because beneath it, it says, hypnotherapy, Reiki, and then there's this symbol of a green witch, so it's like combining all of the things that I'm curious about and merging them together as one. And then
Mm-hmm.
on another sign, I see it's written Paw Sanctuary, which is it is like a dog daycare boarding, but it's also the rescue that we want to start. So by doing that, it's going to bring in the right people and resources in order to help even more animals. And so it's not just one thing. There's a lot of things that are going to come from that. And then I see
Yeah.
this garden center where I just see all these little kids who are sitting outside, and I'm showing them how to grow your own food, how to harvest, and how to dry herbs and use them, preserve them in all natural ways. So it's like teaching. I don't know if I will be teaching kids or it's just kind of a metaphor to the next generation. By doing this work, we're also showing them how important and how it works. It actually works. So you don't need a pill for everything, that you can actually heal yourself within nature. So I feel like there's a lot of things coming and it's all starting. It's just about releasing the things that need to be released in order to get that energetic and creative flow.
Okay, so since you said that, let's scan your body. Or is there somewhere that you're aware of things that need to be released?
I feel like it's outside of my body, like
Okay.
surrounding, so it feels like that sometimes a heavy fog comes and that sometimes is a sign to rest and to allow either grief or sadness to flow, to feel it, and then allow it to release on its own by doing things that bring joy and kind of marrying those two emotions because they one cannot be without the other. So it's all about that balance and it's okay to be happy. There's no guilt. Like there is no need for that guilt and I feel like that guilt kind of left with that block and the energy is flowing. It's right now I think it's more about allowing that fog to dissipate on its own while using that time to plan and create before putting into action.
Oh, and is there any more for you to know about this?
There's just an important message, I think. I don't know if it has to do with you specifically, but as I continue to walk down the path, I just feel like this pull to go off the path a little bit. And I kind of see you in those like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like an old Western type dwelling, but it's really small and there's just like a window, like no window, but just like a cutout,
Mm-hmm.
and you're selling things on the side of a road kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in this off path in the forest, and you're not really selling anything, but more like giving insight into what's to come in the spiritual aspect. So the paths kind of represent the physical world, and off the path feels more of spiritual, subconscious type of magic. So you're saying that there's something really important coming, and that is that we're able to jump from timeline to dimensions, like just we're able to do those intentional jumps in order to pull and retrieve information and wisdom not only from ourselves, but from enlightened beings and the angels. There really is no end to possibilities, but you just have to be willing to go off path and take that leap of faith that something's out there that's worth exploring. And yeah, so you're kind of like this little witch in the woods.
Is there more information for you there?
You just handed me a daisy, and then I started walking back onto the path. And then we're going to this space that I don't know if it was the portal or something that took me into the path, but before moving there, there was this light in the universe above, and it, as my soul was elevating to those heights, I'm now able to like walk into it, which it kind of resembles a star, just really up close, able to walk into it in order to recharge your soul's batteries
Cool.
and cleanse within the stars and the universe above.
And what are you aware of here?
I'm just like in this really bright space, I guess within the star and feeling that the energetic give and take. So they're taking anything that it feels like anything that I'm ready to let go of subconsciously or consciously, and
Mm-hmm.
then automatically replacing it. It feels like a star bath. Like
Mm.
they're telling me I don't do these cleansing rituals enough when I'm feeling low that I can picture myself going into this star and allow it to do all the work on the days that it feels hard to focus on what I need to release. It just kind of does it automatically.
Cool. You sort of plug in.
Yeah,
And what do you know about this?
that it's a place where every piece or part of my soul's journey is kind of compacted in there. So I'm able to go there and be like, you know what, today I need the Viking Steph's strength and
Mm-hmm.
courage and kind of pull that out like it's an outfit
Mm-hmm.
from so it's like my soul's closet.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel like it's just as easy as closing your eyes and imagining going into this space and being like, today I need this energy, and you can retrieve that from a past or future version of yourself.
Mm-hmm. So this is you?
Yeah, I believe so.
And is there anything that you are able to do or meant to do besides going there? I love that you can access that whenever you want. I'm seeing you bringing more of that here. So is there any information around that?
Yeah, I think it's as easy as thinking about it. If I feel like I'm in the sun and like I feel the warmth, that's basically a symbol of, the universe and then my higher self because it's all one
Mm-hmm.
and that it's within me at all times. There's
Bingo.
nothing, yeah, there's nothing really special that I have to do in order to access it. I just have
Mm-hmm.
to know and believe that I can.
So saying that, can you feel it inside your physical body like a light?
It feels like above, so
Okay.
I guess crown, but then I also feel it in my heart. So I don't know if those two are connected or if that's just where it needs to be for me today, but it feels like crown and heart merging those two energies.
Beautiful. Is there anything you need to do to assist that, or anyone who needs to help you, or is there anything happening as those two energies merge?
No, it's just I'm now walking on the path, just intentionally feeling into those energies.
Cool. I want you to really feel that because that's real and it's here.
Yeah.
And it's you. And I was writing that, I wrote here HEAR. So is there any, instead of HERE? So is
Mhm.
there any message? Is there a reason why I transposed those words?
So at one point I heard your voice differently than like I didn't recognize your voice for a second. And I thought to ask my guide, if that was intentional. And she said that they're able to speak through you when you give permission
Mhm.
and that it's divinely guided and that was her voice.
Cool. Cool.
And her name is Celeste.
And what do you know about Celeste? Is there anything new for you to know or anything?
I think this is the first time I'm meeting her, but she's
Ah,
walking with me on the path and it kind of feels like when you were walking with your best friend really young and you have like arm in
mm,
arm, kind of like skipping through the forest or
ah,
I think she's been with me before, but when I was younger. And so
mm,
I think she might be that reconnecting like soul fragments or that
yeah.
guide that really helps make you feel as one again.
Mhm. Yeah.
And she's just kind of like pointing out different things in the forest, like that we can't see in the physical world, but that are still there. So, like fairies and these little creatures or like sparkles that are just kind of residing in places that we wouldn't normally see.
Mm, cool. So is she going to help you to see more of that in this reality?
Yeah, I think she's here to kind of show the magic of both realities, like the physical and the metaphysical space of just how to merge those two to feel that magic more and more every day in everyday activities, like going for a walk, to recognize more of the magic that lies within.
Oh, you've used the word merge several times. So is there anything that would be beneficial or helpful to help merge these experiences, realities, aspects, dimensions,
To just go
access?
within more. There's there's unlimited possibility and we have the tools and the technique in order to do that more frequently. And by doing that, we're going to be able to bring those two worlds together as one more and more every day. So it's already happening, but it can happen as often as we'd like, which would make it even more strong and empowering.
So, from this place that feels very natural, is there any tool or any gesture or anything you can do in your physical waking reality that will evoke that or remind you to anchor that?
Yeah. She's just showing me the wand that I was told to make in a session
Mm-hmm.
I had with Julie, and she's just showing me to set that intention within the wand that whenever I have it or hold it, that's all I have to do is to just have that. For me, it would be that physical item that connects both worlds.
Cool. I love it. And is there anything further that she has for you?
The sun is out and the space in between those two paths has disappeared. So it's kind of like one big path now. And I feel like that was the main message here, is that there's not any real separation between these realities, and we have access to explore and to invite wisdom from each side. Another message is just that we're a lot more powerful than we give ourselves credit for.
Yes, indeed. I love it.
If this episode sparked something in you, maybe a curiosity about timelines, dimensions, or even your soul's greater journey, just know that in hypnosis sessions, we can explore any theme that calls to you. Julie and I both offer free consultations where we can chat about what's piquing your interest and shape it into an extraordinary journey that's completely your own. I also want to share something that I'm really excited about. My Soul Essence themed sessions are all about reconnecting with the truth of who you are across time, space, and lifetimes. And for those who are ready to dive deep, I offer the Soul Essence bundle, which includes 2 personalized hypnosis journeys and 1 support session for $333 Canadian. Or if you're looking for gentle guidance along your path, my support sessions are designed to hold space wherever you are on your journey with personalized resources and intuitive insights. So you can find all the details and book your free consult with Julie at soulseekerhypnosis.com or with me at soulfulstephanie.com. Until next time, keep following the threads. You never know where or when they'll lead.
And that's it for today's episode. Until next time, stay curious.
Stay mystical.